Hey guys, what is up? Today I come to you with a triple review. Ooh, that's very rare. For Boku no Hero Academia Season 2 with episodes 15 to 17. And just earlier I did a Katsugen Hitoken Rambu triple review. And if you go to that, for the first few minutes I explained as to why I did a triple review. And that's because I was with the family. So I haven't been able to upload for the past 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm sorry for that, but I will get back to schedule within the week. Doing my weekly reviews. So starting with episode 15, we have where Deku is learning how to actually use One for All, because we always knew him for using it at least one part of his body, leaving the rest of him open. And so his instructor for the internship, Gran Torino, who was the teacher of All Might, and him knowing about the One for All, and he was friends with the predecessor before All Might, the 7th user, so he's very well aware of the power that Deku has, and so he's the best teacher to teach Deku how to actually use it. So while Deku's practicing on how to use One for All, we have also with the incident with Iida and his older brother, as we know that Stain basically ruined his future as, the rest of his future as a hero, paralyzing him from the waist down. And of course, Iida being very upset with this because he loves his big brother, and his big brother was inspiration for him to become a hero, hence why he is attending USJ. And to see his brother laying in that bed like that, that angers him so much, and now he's on a path for revenge, and he does end up finding Stain in the alleyway with another hero about to lose their life. But just before that, we had where Shigaraki of the Villains League tried to recruit Stain, but it just doesn't work out in favor for him. Now, what we come to find out was, within their little talk, Stain's ideologies of heroes and villains. Now, how he views them is possibly how most of us would view heroes and villains. Heroes are selfless. They sacrifice themselves for the better good. Villains have an agenda, and if it means hurting people in the process, then they will do so. And when you think like that, that's how Stain thinks of it. But how he goes about those intentions is actually rather wrong, and it makes him seem like a bad guy. Like, his ways of thinking what a true hero and true villain are not really all that far from how most people would think, even though he has more of a narrow view on it. But you understand where he is coming from. But his intentions are trying to make a better world for actual heroes to rise up and actual villains to rise up, like a balance between good and evil. How he goes about it is actually rather wrong, so it makes him view him as a villain. But the way he thinks, I wouldn't put him in the category of a real villain, nor would I put him in the category of a hero. I don't know. He'll be like in the middle. He will be in the middle. I don't know what to call him, but he's not really a villain to me, and he's not really a hero at the same time. But nonetheless, we have where Iida confronts him and tells him, I'm going to defeat you in the name of Iganium, or my brother's name. And then, this strikes a nerve in Stain, and so he's going to kill him. And this leads to where in the following episode, episode 16, Deku comes in time just before Iida is killed. Now we come to find out what his quirk is, what Stain's quirk is. Now it sounds disturbing, blood curdle. That's the name of his quirk, and how it works is rather interesting. It's not a powerful quirk, but if you get caught in it, just even a little, if he nicks you just even a little, that's enough for him to deal with you right then and there. And of course, it's good enough for the fact that he dealt with a lot of heroes in the past before what's currently happening right now. So how it works is, once he needs those blades first of all, and he's extremely fast. So once he cuts you, he licks the blood off the blade, and then he activates his quirk, which paralyzes you. And the quirk has a time limit of 8 minutes, and it depends on your blood type. So if your blood types go from O A, B, and B. And from the least to the most, depending on your blood type, that's how long you stay paralyzed. So if you're a type O, you possibly may stay paralyzed for about 2 to 3 minutes, but still, nonetheless, that's enough for him to kill you because you can't move. You can't do anything within his presence. So it doesn't really matter. But the thing is, his quirk works best if he's facing up against one person. Now with Deku, and then eventually Todoroki joins into the fray because Deku needed help trying to fight him. Both of them are facing against him, and we have where Iida is reflecting on his actions, feeling bad about the fact that he brought his friends into his mess, and then, you know, seeing as how he wasn't acting like a true hero at the moment because he was only doing this for himself. He wasn't thinking about helping the hero that was in danger, and he was only going out for revenge. And for the fact that now his friends have to come into his problem, he feels very ashamed of himself while being paralyzed on the floor and watching his friends getting bloody up and beaten up while trying to face Stain. Of course, we see multiple times where Deku is hit by Stain's quirk but eventually overcomes it. And just before Todoroki gets injured, might I add, Todoroki, I fall in love with his character each and every time because we knew what type of character he was. He was a distant character, and for the fact that he came into this, rushed to Deku's help without even a message, just knew the location and came rushing to help him, says enough. And for the fact that he went to his mother and explained everything, and you know, she told him that him growing will be her salvation. And for the fact that if he was his old self, he wouldn't be doing his internship with his father, but because of the words Deku told him back during the sports festival, was able to open up a whole new window for him. And he's warming up to people, especially Deku and Iida. And the fact that he was worried about him, knowing the position he was in was him just a few weeks or months ago, knowing what it's like to have pent-up frustration and wanting to let it out on someone and not being focused on anything else, but only just being focused on one thing and hurting other people in the process. So he understood that. So I was really glad for his character growth, and it's really thanks to Deku because of that. And this causes him to grow. And he was going to get injured until we have where Iida comes in and saves him. And then it's like a 3 versus 1 fight at this point by episode 17. So all 3 of them are going against him. And the battle was just so epic. Of course, this is the conclusion of the Stain arc by this episode. But I really like how Stain went out. Like, he was a total badass when he went out. And of course, Deku and Iida land the final blow towards him with a punch and a powerful kick, and he's out of commission. And the other heroes come by, and I might add that even though you don't like Endeavor, I have to say there's a reason why he's number 2. This guy is, his power is sick. His power is sick. How he uses it, his hellfire, is pretty amazing. Even though he's a crappy dad, I have to say he is a powerful person, and you would not want to mess with him. So the other heroes managed to come and see that they dealt with Stain, even though they sustained some injuries. You know, all well that ends well. Well, if you're not captured by a Batwing Nomu. Now that's Deku's position right now. He's captured by the Batwing Nomu, and we don't know where he would have been brought to, possibly to Shigaraki, and who knows what Shigaraki would have done to Deku if Stain did not come in and save him, killing the Nomu. So while he was the only one to save him, all the others were thinking, what should I do? And then what I found really interesting, just before, you know, he was out of commission, was when his mask fell off, and then everybody was frozen in fear. Now, I don't know if that was the bloodlust or his quirk activating because he was hiding his face, or it's both of them combined, but everybody was petrified because they thought he was going to go straight up and kill everybody there, and they could not have done anything. And then he just stopped moving, and what we found out is that one of his broken ribs stabbed him in the lungs, and therefore it basically killed him. He couldn't breathe, so he died. And I'm like, you know, you came in like a badass and you came out like a badass, saying what you did was wrong, but you understand where he was coming from. And like I said, I wouldn't put him solely in the category as a villain, nor would I put him solely as a character in the hero category, but he's somewhere in the middle. If the story was written another way, but then given with his quirk, I don't know how that will work. But either way, it would have been pretty cool to see what he would be like if he wasn't categorized as a villain in this series. But nonetheless, if you guys saw these 3 episodes as well as the newest episode, episode 17, how do you feel about the conclusion of Stain the Hero Killer arc, as well as I believe we might be getting into another arc, so 3 arcs within the 2nd season. So first the sports festival, now with the conclusion of the Stain the Hero Killer arc, and it looks like we're getting into another arc which will finish off. And might I add, we saw like 2 new characters appear at the end of this episode. I want to know what they're going to do. I want to know who these characters are. They look pretty interesting. So if you guys saw all 3 episodes, and especially episode 17, no spoilers, but tell me how you felt about the conclusion of this arc, and are you excited for the next arc to come? Leave them down in the comment section below. The links are in the description box as always, so you guys go check that out. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!